In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. It is a core belief of a believing man and a believing woman. To Allah we belong, and to Allah we shall all return. I greet you with Islamic greetings of Assalamu alaikum. May the peace and blessing be upon you. My name is Amy Armstrong. I bring you a report on Haji Rab Nawaz Shaheed, the martyred. This is Haji Rab Nawaz Shaheed, the martyred. A friend and a campaigner of human rights. Haji Rab Nawaz Shaheed was tragically and callously murdered in a premeditated attack at a masjid in Coventry. On Sunday evening, the 2nd of October 2022 at approximately 9 p.m. Rab Nawaz Shaheed, he was known to be a man of great tawakkul in Allah Almighty, accessibly generous, help of the needy. Furthermore, he was a great family man, a true friend. Rab Nawaz was attending a Janaza at the Jamia Masjid and Institute, where he was targeted in a premeditated attack by a group of thugs carrying large knives and machetes. Just after 9 p.m., officers were sent to the masjid at the junction of Durbar Avenue and Queen Mary's Road, in the Foleshill area of Coventry. Following reports of a large group of men, some armed with knives and machetes, involved in a one-sided ruthless and brutal attack on a man outside. Despite efforts to save Mr. Nawaaz, he died a short time later. Haji Rab Nawaz Shaheed was a husband, a father and a grandfather. He leaves behind a wife, and 2 sons and 3 daughters and 4 grandchildren to whom he was their ideal role model. Haji Rab Nawaz Shaheed's Janaza was read at Smeth'k Jamia Masjid. Imam Ghulam Rasul read out a short eulogy to Haji Rab Nawaz Shaheed to over 5,000 people who came to Smeth'k Jamia Masjid from all over the UK, to pay their final respect to Shaheed Haji Rab Nawaz and to read his Janaza.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have come together on this very somber occasion, on an occasion which makes us think to the core of our very being. And I'm here to read a statement on behalf of the family and share a few words with you. The family write, our father, our brother was a bright light of good that was brutally and tragically extinguished by the twisted darkness of criminal madness. Our brother Haji Rab Nawaz of Hansworth, originally from the village Muhar, Durbar in Zada Kashmir, was callously murdered. The public outpouring of grief and praise for him is a testimony to his great humanity. He was the epitome of a person of faith, a law-abiding citizen, an ideal family man, a dependable neighbor, and a trusted friend. He is a proactive human rights campaigner. Many of you know him as a social historian. And he was tirelessly, deeply empathetic, caring, charitable person. We seek justice for the murder, our brother, our innocent father, our innocent member of the Muslim community. We hope that these cold-hearted criminals are quickly apprehended and severely punished for murdering our innocent shining light of a brother. At this time, our thoughts and prayers are with his mother, his wife, his sons, his daughters, brothers, his sisters in this most darkest and most challenging of times. Every eye is tearful, every heart is aching, but they're all unified in being proud of this person's life. All were deeply touched by his inner and outer beauty. It was an honor to have met him, and it's a privilege to have known him. He's such a selfless and iman-filled human being. We thank the emergency services for their tireless effort for trying to save our father. We are hopeful in the police homicide investigation that has led to some initial arrests. We, the family, want all the people apprehended. They extinguished a dependable shining light of good, an innocent, humble, loving family man, our father, our brother, our friend, Haji Rab Nawaz. We asked some of our colleagues, how would you sum his life up? And I'll give you some anecdotes of his life. Rab Nawaz is somebody, his heart ached for the Muslim community. Every month or so, he would write to the Prime Minister about Muslim issues. He would write to all the local councillors, even when there was typewriters, he would sit on a typewriter and write on typewriters every month. He would write to all agencies where he felt there was a concern for Muslim communities, from all ranging issues which interested him. Rab Nawaz himself was such a benevolent man. And he was just a working class person. He gave charitable Qarza Hasna to mosques. One mosque he gave charitable Qarza Hasna for about £40,000 for over 15 years. He gave another masjid, somebody just met him and said to him, "We've got a masjid shell, we're trying to repair this masjid. He goes, come to my house." He gave him £20,000 Qarza Hasna. He was in Pakistan in January, he met some ulama, and they were in hard times. He gave them 20 lakh rupiah just to earn 10 lakh rupiah and to return the Qarza Hasna. There's people, over 40 people who were not his relatives. He arranged their visas. Now when I say arranging a visa, he put money into the bank accounts. He gave them their bank statements. He transferred parts of his property on their name. He put his rooms on their names. He gave them paperwork. He lent so much of himself. And anytime we asked him, what if they don't give it to you back? What if they don't honor what you're doing? He would say, Allah Taqaram. Because Allah Taqaram, God is watching. God is not, I'm doing this for Allah has given it to me, I'm giving it back. Rab Nawaz was such a benevolent man. His benevolence really astounds me. And the fraternity of people I come from, I don't find a person of that kind of tawakkul iman in that kind of fraternity as well. He's a very unique human being. And I asked one of the brothers, how would he sum his life up? And this brother sent me a hadith. I'll recite the hadith to you. It's about when the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when the first revelation came to him. When revelation came to him, and the burden and the responsibility of prophethood was troubling the Prophet ﷺ. It was the Prophet ﷺ was reacting in ways, and he came to his wife, Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha. And this is the way this young brother said, I think this sums up his life. He writes, his life is simply summed up in this statement about the Holy Prophet of Islam, which I believe apply to our amazing brother Rab Nawaz. This was Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha said to the Prophet ﷺ, and many of you will relate to this. He said, you are good to your relatives. You are true to your word. You help those who are in need. You support the weak. You feed the guests. You answer the call of those who are in distress. And this was Brother Rab Nawaz. He's a very simple human being, a very benevolent human being. Many people are touched by him. He worked as 18 years at Electoral Centre in Soho. He was somebody who people, when they came to him, he went out of the way to help them. There's people who are responding on Instagram, etc., and speaking about his good deeds that we know nothing about. And he wasn't a boastful person. Allah Ta'ala gave him so much strength. He wasn't an intimidating person. He wasn't an arrogant person. And he was my friend for life. And when we was in Pakistan in January, and we prayed Salatul Zohar, and I usually come out late because I did optional prayers, etc. And he usually comes out before me, but that day he stayed behind, and I came out before him. And he chased after me and he met me by the door, and he goes, Dosta, Aj Allah kolo shahadat mungi. That del jamai da shahadat mungi. So I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for martyrdom. So मैं दोस्ता क्या हाल है पूछा शहीदों से एक और दोस्ता शायद कश्मीर को ले चली गया शायद पाकिस्तान को हाल चल ही जाए क्या यूके को मामला बनी जाए ये था अल्लाह ताला शामिल. And this same statement we read from ulama who mentioned it, his wife has told him his sentiment was to go from this world as a shaheed. For us he was a shining light, and at the moment he died he did ziyarah of Allah Almighty. He beheld Allah Almighty. He had the vision of Allah Almighty. And he has a great rank in Jannah. But I would like to also say that we need to come over our madness of rage and anger. Now, nothing justifies this. Young people, I'm talking to you from my heart. I'm a father and a grandfather. To see this kind of senseless killings, nothing justifies this. We can stop talking to somebody. We can ignore people. We can try to mediate. We can overcome issues. But this is completely senseless. And now knife crime is on the increase. Violent crime is on the increase. And I call upon also our law and order, the police and emergency service, that they need to play a greater role in this. Our politicians need to be proactive in ensuring that in our communities this tension is dispelled in the right kind of way. But at the same time, we as Muslims need to take responsibility. The Quran tells us to take the life of one person is to take the life of whole of humanity. And this was a tragic death inside the masjid after a janaza, in a crowd of people. And Muslims fought. And this was Muslim people. And my heart, I will say to all of you, please, revenge and vengeance is crazy. There's a hadith, the Prophet says that time will come towards the end of times, where young people will have rage, blind anger. And this blind anger will take away all their logic. And the one who's getting killed, he won't know why he's being killed. And the one who's killing, he won't know why he's killing. This is the madness. This is the kind of madness we are entering into. And I will say to you, please, we are Muslims. We are ambassadors of Islam in this society. You know, in the prison service, our numbers are disproportionate in the prison to any other creed. 17% of all people in prison, or 20%, are Muslims. The figures may be higher now. It's shocking. We're only 4% or 5% of the population. But in prison we are overrepresented. Why does the dark side of people? And I would say to you, please, as Muslim brothers, as parents, as children, as fellow Muslims, as from the nation of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, please don't be led by rage. Don't be led by blind anger. We are Muslims. Look at all of you here. I don't know you, but the Kalmah connects us. The Quran connects us. The Qibla connects us. So finally I like to say, so please brothers, don't be led by your anger. Don't be led by rage. We are ambassadors of Islam in this society. What brought us to this shows? And ulama have mentioned with those with deep insight, they said we are the carriers of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're the carriers of the kalmah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we need to show the best of character. The Holy Prophet had the best of character. And we need to work together to overcome any of these tensions. Because this is not right. And the result and the output is not right. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless Brother Rab Nawaz, elevate him into a high place in Jannah. May Allah bless him in the maqam of martyrdom and all the fadila attached to that. May Allah bless his family with tranquility, sabr and patience for him in this most difficult time. May Allah give us tawfiq to live as Muslims and to die as Muslims. And may the last words upon our lips be La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Brother Rab Nawaz's younger brother, Kamran, asked me, because can I say a few words? So I'll ask him to come to say a few words, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. At the age of 13, my dear brother became our father as our father passed away. And my brother would look up to my father and always aspire to him. And we always aspired to be like Papa as we grew up. And Papa had one thing, that I want to be like Dad, be just and fair to everybody. And I pray that we all can pray together with me that my brother is reunited in Jannah with my father, and with my father's arms open and smiling, welcoming his son to Jannah. And any brothers who ever feeling anything like I did in life, difficulties, it was a struggle for me today to perform the ghusl of my eldest brother, which I thought I'd never have to come across. But what I'd like to say, in these difficult times, I thought to myself, what can I do? And I thought to myself, I can be like Baba. I could think, be fair to everybody and be just. And today I'll fulfill my duty to my brother by being like Papa. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, showing the love towards my brother. And the thing that I've been told about my brother have just inspired me more to be like Papa. And inshallah, he'll be granted Jannah as a Shaheed. Assalamu alaikum.